now that I'm a dad and a pastor, I've had to relearn all this stuff. And so authenticity basically in its simplest form is that you are the same person in any situation. So it might mean in that you share more of who you are with your core group, but who you are outside of that core group is still consistent. And then who you are in private is also who you are in public. And I wanted to pull us just quickly into James, because James actually highlights the reality that we by nature are not this. and he gets to it. If you go to James 1 verse 2, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds. So he's setting the many kinds, because you know that in the testing of your faith, it develops perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete. That word complete sometimes translates perfect, but it doesn't mean behavioral perfect. It means that what James does, and he sets it up here, both in this chapter and the next two chapters, sometimes what you say is different than what you do. Sometimes what you say once is different than what you say. Sometimes what you do is different than what you do. And he actually sets up trials as something that brings about perseverance, and that perseverance actually brings about consistency and authenticity. And so I've had to learn that the trials, the hard things I've been through, and I've been through some really tough seasons having to navigate my own brokenness and trauma and how it's played into my relationships. I've learned and had to learn, and Hebrews does this too, right? In Hebrews 12, he says the exact same thing to a similar type audience. Consider the hard times as this perseverance. Hebrews, the Greek word for discipline, isn't actually like a spanking and discipline. It's actually endurance training. There's two Greek words there, endurance training and instruction. Endurance training and perseverance. And in here, it's because it brings about maturity and consistency and authenticity and integrity. It's where less and less you will say one thing and do something differently. Say one thing, say something differently. Do one thing and do something. Through those things, God in His grace wants to bring those things together so we are consistent people. So, yeah.
That's so well said.